Hodge.
Hey everybody, I'm back with the pickup video from this past weekend trip to the Midwest Gaming Classic. It was so much fun, had a blast. I just want to say right off the top, give a big thank you to Ryan, it's Rocket Sauce, Musty Hobbit, Julian. You guys were awesome to me and had a great time hanging out with you, especially Ryan when I got there on the Friday. We got to go hang out at Ryan's local bar, like he called it his Cheers. Hang out there, watch baseball game, and have some drinks and stuff. That was loads of fun. And then the next day at the actual event, hanging out with you guys and buying stuff and just talking video games and things like that. It was great. Had a blast. The event itself was so good. I mean, my previous video doesn't do it justice. I kind of slacked off on recording stuff at some point or another, but it is such a blast. Great event. Got to meet Eric Bischoff. Like, that was so awesome. Really nice dude. His panel was really good. Got to meet up with the guys from the Weekend Rental podcast. Thanks for meeting you guys. Ryan gave me this here, so they had actual NES dust sleeves made up for the Weekend Rental podcast. So make sure you check those guys out. Got to go have dinner with the Cartridge Club members as well as the Midwest YouTubers. So there's a bunch of them that I got to meet, kind of some again and some for the first time. So everybody that I met that weekend, there was the Old Ass Retro Gamer, Corpse Flood Gaming, Church the Game Grinder, and a bunch of other guys kind of met but didn't directly meet. But anyways, thank you very much. Had a blast. So now to go through the pickups from the weekend. Our first stop over the border was at a GameStop and I grabbed a few things there. A couple of new World of Nintendo figures. So we got Bullet Bill Mario or Cappy and Goomba Mario. Got a couple of the Funko cereals. So these are the Pac-Man ones. We got two of these, one to open and one to keep sealed. It comes with the Pac-Man and the cereal. We have the Cuphead cereal. We actually bought two of those as well, and the cereal is not very good. And we also grabbed the Mega Man one. So they only had one copy of the Mega Man one, and I'd rather have two of the Pac-Man and one of the Mega Man. Might open this one, I might not. And then I grabbed 3 games in the EB Games, or GameStop I guess I should call it. And for $2.69 each, Ghost Squad on the Wii, Battalion Wars 2 on the Wii, and Broken Sword, one I've never heard of before. It's actually Broken Sword Shadow of the Templars. Moving on, we went into a family video, and for $5 I grabbed a copy of Snoopy's Grand Adventure on the Wii U. And we also went into a disc replay, and I grabbed a couple of games there. Mad for the Atari 2600, and one game that was on my wish list, Conduit on the Wii, and to go with it, Conduit 2, but this is actually the limited edition version, which I don't have. I have just the regular version, so I will flip my other one. On day 2 of our trip, so the Saturday, we went and stopped at a outlet mall, and they had a store in there that just kind of had a lot of like collectibles and board games and things like that. So while we were in there, I found a few things. First was some Kirby squishies. These guys are pretty cool. They were actually a little expensive, $7.99 each. And they had a bunch of different versions of it, but we ended up with the Kirby that's like flying in the air, and the Kirby that is eating everything. Which way are we going there? There we go. And as well, while we were in there, I grabbed another Zelda figure to go with the Zelda collection, and of course it's the Shadow Link. I've seen this one around for like $60 Canadian, somewhere around there. It might have even been more than that, and I only paid $20 for this guy. Onto the convention pickups. One of the first pickups of the day was Miss Pac-Man board game. I'm not really getting that all in the shot. I'm a little close, but it's in decent shape. This is just kind of falling off on the side, but I only had to pay $5 for that. Some artwork my wife fell in love with when she saw it, so I grabbed them, and it was 3 for $25. And it's a Back to the Future. I'm not really going to get a good shot of it here, but this is like poster 1, and then poster 2 is this guy, and poster 3 is this one. So it's all the DeLoreans from all 3 of the movies, and you put them 1, 2, 3 beside each other, so we'll get the frames for that. I'll just quickly show you a nice picture of it here, what it actually looks like. Not framed yet, of course, but she fell in love with that, and I think they're going to look really good in the house somewhere. There was another vendor there selling a whole bunch of different posters, and we really liked the Mario one that we saw. So we got a Mario and a Pac-Man one. So this is the first time I'm opening them, and this looks really good. So try to show it here. So it's old school Mario Brothers again. I'll see if I can lie this out and get a nice better shot of it for you. That's the Mario one. The other one we got, I'm just gonna quickly, oh wow. I'm really glad we got this one now. This is the Donkey Kong one. And this one turned out really good. We didn't actually know what this one was gonna look like. He didn't have any there like on display, but that looks really sweet. So some more artwork to put up in the game room, or actually we might put this stuff upstairs. All right, and to the games that I got while I was on the vendor floor, I actually got decent amount of stuff, just kind of looking at what I got here. I'll go through some Atari games first. Two I've never heard of, but they just kind of intrigued me and the price was right. Super Cobra and Sky Skipper. Don't know anything about those ones, but if you do, let me know. I was lucky enough to bring a bunch of inventory with me, and I made a bunch of trades while I was there as well. And one vendor in particular, I ended up trading a copy of Pokemon Sun on the DS. We paid 20 bucks Canadian for it, and I gave him that along with $20 cash, and I was able to get the black Zelda 3DS. This guy is in very, very, very good shape, and this is the last one I really need to complete my collection, so this is going to look awesome in my cupboard. It works fine, and it also came with a charger. Speaking of trades, I did make a trade with Corpse Flood Gaming. So we met up at the dinner with all the Midwest gaming YouTubers, and we made a trade there, and this is what I got from him. Section Z on the NES, Trog on the NES, Super Mario Bros. 2 on the NES, Joust, which is actually going into my collection, and Mario Kart 64. I told him right off the bat I would be willing to make the trade, but most of that stuff is going to be for trade fodder or to resell. The stuff that he wanted from me, he was keeping, but he was fine with that. I made one of my bigger purchases, and it was more trade and a little bit of cash. Big shout out to Joe Ross from Cerulean Games. Thank you very much for doing this deal with me, sir. And this marks one off of my list. It was not Elysia Dragoon. I looked everywhere for that game and I could not find it. Nobody had a copy of it. But I did get Splatterhouse 3, so that completes my Splatterhouse collection on the Sega Genesis. And one off the radar, I didn't even have it on my wants list, but it's supposed to be a really fun game, and I got a hell of a deal on it. The person had $15 price tag on it. I offered them 10 and they accepted it, and that was Decap Attack on the Sega Genesis. And this game is complete. It actually ended up coming with a Sonic manual in it too for some reason, but I got it for 10 bucks. I think the going rate is 20, and he had it listed at 15, so not gonna complain. Another one kind of off my radar, and I got it because it was a great deal, and I own the Game Boy Advance version, and that's Scourge Hive on the DS. This one had a $10 price tag on it, and I ended up getting it for 7, and the going rate for it is actually 15. Bunch more NES games that I got. Bayou Billy for $3. This was a game from my childhood I remember playing. Not very good, but you may not believe me, but I've been kind of going for Camerica games for a while. I know the AVGN video just came out about the Aladdin Deck Enhancer, but I've been going for trying to get most of the Camerica ones, and this one was on my wants list, and that is the Quattro Arcade for a Camerica game for the NES. And this one includes F-16 Renegade, CJ's Elephant Antics, Go Dizzy Go, and Stunt Buggies. Sticking with the Camerica theme, I also got The Fantastic Adventures of Dizzy, and I only paid $5 for this one. Another store, I did a little bit of trade and $7 cash, and I got another one off my list, Journey to Silius on the NES. Another vendor was there, and he apparently was liquidating his own personal collection, and at the end of the first day, or on the Saturday, he was dropping prices left, center, and right, and I grabbed these two just because they were such a great deal. Even if I don't decide to keep them, it's a good investment, and I can flip them. So for $10 I got Captain Planet and the Planeteers, and for $15 I got Clue Land on the NES. And my last two grabs, and these were in my top 5s I must get games, and it took me a bit to find them and track them down, but I got them. First one is Rampage on the N64. Sorry about the glare there. So this had a price tag of $17.99 on it, and I got it for $15. And Rampage 2 Universal Tour. This had a price tag of $35 on it, but I ended up trading a bunch of stuff towards it, and it only cost me $10. Overall, man, it was an amazing event. Congrats to the crew that put on the Midwest Gaming Classic. So much stuff to do there, and I think I only really saw the tip of the iceberg. Got to do one panel, got to see a little bit of the arcade area. Vendor floor was on like crazy, and I got to see a little bit of the cosplay thing that they did, which was at the end of the day on the vendor floor, which was pretty cool. Got to hang out with some awesome people, especially the Cartridge Club crew, and had a great weekend with the family away. Kids had fun staying in the hotel and just kind of getting to buy stuff and things like that. So thank you very much for watching this pickup video. I hope you liked everything I got. Let me know down below, did you go, and what did you pick up? And hopefully I got to say hi to you. If I didn't, maybe next year. All right, we'll see you next time.